Are you also a victim of overthinking just about everything in your life? Well, I do know that people think way too much, and honestly, it causes a block that is mostly painful and gets in the way of doing things that you love to do. Me personally, I don't overthink much. I think that's a reason why I'm pretty happy majority of the time. I mean, I'll worry, I will get upset about things, probably too upset about things sometimes because, you know, of my emotions, they fluctuate and all, but you are not your emotions and you are not your thoughts. So the reason I feel happy all the time is because I love to live in the present moment. And of course, you're not always going to be happy, but if you look at everything as I'm not happy, or this situation sucks, or this situation yesterday was better than today, then you're going to be upset. You're not going to be happy if everything you look at is just sadness or anger. You have to live in the present. You have to actually turn off your brain a little bit. All those negative thoughts you're thinking, let them be there, but don't really pay them any mind because they will just throw your emotions off and won't really let you get into that flow state if you're just thinking about the negative stuff in your head. You can be a little more autistic by not thinking as much, and people might enjoy you more, because if you're not thinking about trying too hard to talk to someone, then it'll come out more naturally. You'll feel more social. People will enjoy you more because you're not in your own head when you should just be communicating with the person right in front of you. And this will go with anything. Because think about it. If you're doing something you love, you're not really going, oh, I have to do this and I have to do this. No. If you're enjoying it, you can probably do it without really thinking much at all. If you think about some of the happiest moments in your life and you try to process what was going through your mind, you probably won't even gather very much, because usually it's just you're in such bliss and in the present that you don't need to think. You're just happy. And that's kind of what we want to mimic most of the time. You can think things, but you don't process them. I don't process things a lot. That's kind of why I'm happy. I mean, it might sound stupid, but usually dudes get scared when they have to cold approach, especially if they don't have much experience with it. And one of the best ways to actually just do it is just count 3, 2, 1, go, and then you start walking. There's no thought process behind that. So just after 3 seconds, I'm just gonna go talk to this girl, and it usually works. That's just one example of living in the present instead of living in your mind. Because if you go, oh, the girl's not gonna like me if I approach her, or I'm gonna get rejected in front of all my friends, I don't know what to say to this girl. Dude, it really doesn't matter. In general, you just need to get out of your own head. You'll have way better conversations. You will have a way better workflow when you're at doing actual work or going and getting a job. And it's actually crazy because I'm doing it right now. I'm not really thinking about what I'm going to say. I'm just saying it to you to get it through to you and try to impact myself and impact you to make your life a little better. If you are constantly in your mind about things that you're worried about, you will probably stress yourself out, and that's just a fact. If you're thinking thoughts that are negative, you will come off as negative. But if you're not really thinking at all you're worried about is being in the present moment and just putting a smile on, then you'll probably be pretty happy. scientifically proven, if you smile more, even while you're upset, you will be a little bit happier. You'll be happier. And it just makes life so much better when you stop trying to force the thoughts that everyone thinks you should have and just being yourself in the present moment. It's so relieving to just do what comes to mind. And it's not doing what you think you have to do. It's just, oh hey man, how's it going? It was great to see you. Man, I love those shoes. How are you? And they'll probably enjoy that. Like whoever receives that compliment, oh, they like my shoes. Thoughtful guy. And then they might compliment you and you get into a whole conversation about shoes. I'm not a shoe guy, but it can happen. I'm probably talking about something else personally, and I'm really trying to dig in this because I have a bunch of friends that probably overthink too much. And I overthink too much sometimes, and I just need to stop. I would have many more relationships if I just put it past, didn't live in my own head, and just let the words flow out like the normal human I am, because we're all normal humans. We're all unique in our own ways. But we live so much up here in this noggin that nothing that's actually us comes out. It's just the only part that comes out is the stress and anxiety. And you are not those. You are not your feelings. You are not your thoughts. You are who you are in that present moment. And you got to start living that way because it'll really make you a lot happier. If you think about it, the happiest moment in your life, I want you to think about it. The happiest moment in your life could be with your parents or achieving something like an award. You probably weren't thinking about much other than just, wow, I got this award, or wow, I'm really happy. But that's not even what you're thinking about. You're not going, wow, I'm happy right now that I won this. No, you're just there and you're so ecstatic. You can't really think negative things. You're not thinking or processing the thoughts in your head because you're not your feelings. You're just doing what's in the present moment. You're just, oh, I'm really happy. This is like the best moment of my life. That's not a thought you have to think. It's just you give off happiness when you're happy. And then people enjoy that. And when people are around you and they're getting that from you, they will be gravitated towards you. You'll be in that flow state. You can just talk to them. It's so much easier. And you just got to get out of your head, buddy. Get out of your head. It's ridiculous, really. I'm a victim of it. I'm sure you are. We really just need to get past that gap and make our way toward being better people by getting out of our head, relieving some of that stress, and finally becoming the people we want to be. You can get into that flow state just by not avoiding. You don't have to avoid the thoughts in your brain. I'm going to say this over and over again. You're allowed to have thoughts in your mind, but when you're processing them, that's when it becomes a problem, because your brain is trying to use the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that controls like fear and stuff. And that thing is the three main questions the amygdala asks. Sorry, three main things. Am I safe? Am I uncomfortable? Do I fit in? And that could probably be like your whole social life. Do I fit in? Am I comfortable here? Do these people like me? It's mostly the do I fit in. And you don't even have to think. If you're not thinking and you're not processing the stuff that's in your brain, you're not going to trigger that fight or flight response and let out all that anxiety and stress. You're just going to be you. It's pretty crazy. You can be pretty stupid and just do whatever you want, and people might like you more because, like, wow, they're kind of like, this guy's cool. They're a lot different than everyone else. They just do what they want. They're just so present in the moment that I just really enjoy this presence around them. And that's what I want you to start doing. I want you to think a little bit less. It's not even thinking less, it's just not processing what's in that stressful brain of yours. Because I know we all got stressed, and I certainly have stress too. But the more you live in that present moment, the more you are going to do the things you want. Talk to that girl, talk to that person you want to be friends with, start that work, like your business, or record a video, post that Instagram post. No one cares what you're doing. Like, the world is so full of people that they don't have time to worry about you. Everyone's worrying about themselves. So you're spending so much time in your brain thinking they're not gonna like you, where they probably don't even know you exist right now. Because they're so full of themselves, which kind of sounds rude, but everyone is. Everyone loves themselves for the most part. Like, they'd rather get something for themselves than for someone else. It's just kind of the way the world works. But we need to stop living in our mind. It's so, like, I'm sorry I have to keep saying this, because that's the whole point of the video. Slap yourself to remind yourself that you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings. You are who you are in the present moment. Stop processing the anxiety. That's what's causing you to slip up. You're thinking way too hard about it, and I know it sounds easier said than done to just not act on the thoughts in your head. They can sit there. You can think thoughts, but I'm trying to put this the best way I can. You can have these stressful thoughts. All you have to do is avoid, like, really processing them. Because as soon as you start processing it, that's when it becomes stressful. You know what I mean? And when you're not really processing it as much, you're more in a flow state where, okay, I don't really care. Like, I'm safe, I'm comfortable, I fit in if you're not stressed out. So you will just flow out and do whatever you need to do. This works in all aspects of life. If you just are in the present moment, freaking work away. I've done this personally. Like, your schoolwork, you're only focused on your schoolwork, dude, you bang that out. Only focused on your job, dude, those 5 hours fly by if you're part-time like me right now. Talking to a girl, and man, I'm not really thinking, I'm just enjoying my time with her and saying words that just flow out of my mouth. The way she's smiling at me, the way she's laughing with me, like, it just makes sense, dude. Get out of your own mind. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and get out of your mind. Mwah.